I take a little break, I go and get food and drink, and what do I see while I'm browsing the news and whatnot? But yes, that's right. Yet another Dark Souls DLC has been accidentally released early on Microsoft's platform. Truly, I'm coloured shocked. That's what the colour red is all about. So yeah, that's gonna mean at least, what, 4 days now of desperately avoiding streams and other various media outlets from the deluge of people populating the internet with screenshots and videos and other odds and ends, all detailing. Oh, I opened that, cool. All detailing exactly,
It was nothing, I guess.
nothing at all. All detailing in vivid and graphic manners exactly what lays in store for those of us whose chosen platforms did not decide to flagrantly flaunt the embargo. Again. Of course, I know there's absolutely nothing going to be done about it. I mean, it's not as if Microsoft can even make an attempt to close off the accidental early access. It's just going to be a case of, oh well, I guess we all get to see things early. What a shame. What a shame. I mean, businesses are short-sighted like that. I mean, yes, you might accidentally screw yourselves over and result in FromSoft not wanting to do further business with you, but it's not going to happen, of course, because cutting yourself off from an entire market branch is never a good idea. So, yeah, I kind of wish that when this sort of thing happened, people would just go, oh, screw it then, just everyone release it early, rather than everyone else sticking to the embargo dates like glue. Well, the one platform and all its subscribers get to enjoy things early for no discernible reason. Yeah, okay, here we go. One. And the two. Oh, those shots though. I could be in the Olympics with this. And the three. Sploosh. Yes. And a four. So in all fairness, putting out all four of those torches probably should have alerted him. And yet strangely didn't. Yet other circumstances where I've put out like a single torch or some such, like in the opposite room to where somebody is, and they freaked the hell out, like for no discernible reason. In case like this, I'm literally putting out torches all around him. He didn't even flinch. I don't know. Perhaps I shouldn't be complaining per se. Just and I got my water arrows back, or at least part of them. That was nice of the game, now wasn't it, kiddies? It's time for you, Squire, to go to sleep. I can avoid running down the ramp.
Down here.
It's certainly not me, you rude little man. Good, his buddy didn't hear. I have to drop down there and cosh him, aren't I? What's over this? Oh! Hi! Don't mind me, I'm just the cranial inspector. Your head, it seems, bruised. You probably have to lie down in the dark and wait for that to heal. I have no idea how I didn't alert him. I dropped onto cobbles. So it wasn't as if it's exactly a quiet fall. I'm willing to bet, though, if I'd purposely attempted to drop down, he would have spun around instantly and smashed me in the face. I'm noticing both of these older games, like, if you walk off ledges and such in a certain way, it's almost like the game doesn't register that you're falling. And so you don't make a proper fall noise. We did it in the catacombs as well, didn't we? Well, the Bone Horde, you know. No entry to Tunnel's house. Pay tribute to Magarins, eh? Okay. And the southeast arches, I think that was, wasn't it? This is one of those fancy locks that, despite looking no different to all the others, I can't just pick. For some reason. Gotta go find a Pacific key, don't you know? Right. And of course, Magarims isn't marked anywhere on this map. Of course, it's not. Why would it be? Okay, that's fine. I'll help myself then, shall I? It's usually the way of it. But first, any goodies hidden behind here? Nope. Not a single one. Okay. That I've got no complaints about, actually. That was kind of a long shot on my behalf. Yes, I was saying, like, it's kind of weird the way the game handles fall detection, I gotta say. Let's open all of these up. No. All of them. Open that, open that. These as well, why not? Don't know what, if anything, they lead to, but I want them open anyway, damn it. Have I seen anywhere with a number 14 on it? I mean, down here was 13, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Is there a number 14 anywhere? Nothing down there, I don't think. Can't really see properly. Walk around a bit. No, that's still closed. That's still closed. I was kind of hoping one of those switches would actually open up the door, but I suppose not. There was a text block there telling me that it wouldn't, so... Okay. I don't know entirely what I opened, if anything, there. I'm going to assume it was something I can use later on, perhaps. As I land on the one piece of metal in the entire corridor. Good job, me. That was a very dynamic musical sting you just did there, game. Oh, we're back in Amnesia Land. Just any moment now, Slackjaw McGee will come stomping around that corner. We're going to find someone cutting someone apart and singing about paintings. Oh, bugger.
Thought I saw something.
No, you saw nothing. Just give me a second.
Sorry I made a fuss.
No, it's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay indeed. In fact, you're probably seeing things because you're tired. That's usually the way it happens. It's an hallucination, old chum. This is a rather comfy bed. I quite strongly suggest you come and have a lie down. That's not an innuendo thing. That's purely health-related, I promise. In fact, why don't I assist you with this? Here we go. Come on. Into the darkened room, like, normal people do. I have to wonder about that, actually. Whether that would be a thing worth implementing in another Thief-style game. Like, if you have a darkened room, would it be worth having, like, the AI, like, walk towards, like, a light switch, or go over to a torch to relight it? I mean, I could see that getting irritating in some respects. Or perhaps even stale and predictable. Like, if you knew that if you turned off the lights, that's probably the first thing the AI was going to do, was attempt to turn them back on. It'd be useful as well, though. I think so, anyhow. Because, as useful as it is, like, having them walk into dark rooms so I can easily cosh them and such, I can't think of any time in my life I've ever purposely walked into the middle of a darkened room. I think like most people, the first thing I've done is walk straight towards the light switch, which makes perfect sense to me. Or, activated the light on my phone. I know these people don't have phones, but you get what I'm saying. You wouldn't just walk into a dark room, walk around a bit, and then walk out again. There'd be no point to it. I think that's actually one of the things that despite how irritating it could be in some respects, that's one of the things I actually quite appreciated about Deadly Shadows. Like, guards who are walking around, like, outside at night.
Baffert was furious when he got back from his trip and found out his precious scepter had been swiped.
We didn't pull
I did
job,
that.
did we?
That was me.
Taffert,
That was all
if we
me.
pulled a job on one of Ramirez's people, it would be war.
Well, who then?
Probably Garrett. He's the only one sly
Uh-huh.
and foolish enough to pull a job like that.
Well, I'm definitely sly. Don't know about foolish. Although I am currently sat in a darkened corner, in the very heart of the Thieves Guild's secret underground lair. So perhaps I am, I've just never noticed. Yes, I was saying though, one of the things I appreciated in Deadly Shadows, as much challenge as it did sometimes add, was the fact that guards who were outside at night, or who were walking through places that were meant to be dark, would carry torches with them. If they had to transition through an area of darkness to get between areas of light, they wouldn't bother, which I think makes perfect sense. But so I quite like the idea that they would go, well, I'm going through a dark place now. There's a long stretch of darkness here. I'll use a torch so I can actually see what's going on. Made perfect sense to me. Also, I did a little cool dimension where you could actually shoot an arrow and put out their handheld torch. It put them into alert mode, true. Or at least caution mode. But then you could watch them stumble about in the dark trying to figure out what's going on, and usually they'd eventually settle for attempting to find their way back to somewhere light. You'd walk up behind them, cosh them, job done. So I quite like that idea, and like it would make for dynamic lighting sources as well, because they walked around. Certain areas would become, harshly shadowed, thanks to the light of the torch, and become naturally quite enhanced.
What was that?
Oh, bugger off! You saw nothing. But naturally quite enhanced hiding spots,
now.
whereas other places would suddenly become brilliantly lit. Like, you saw a guy with a torch coming, you had to basically place your bets, Is there somewhere I can get to that won't suddenly, become not a hiding place the moment he walks by with his light source? Or is there some way I can, sneak past him by waiting for him to, walk past a pillar and then, skirting along the shadow as it changes path? I mean, I don't think you probably couldn't have done that in a game of this era, I don't think. You probably were sort of limited to fixed lights and fixed shadows, but yeah, I like that addition. But again, as people who've watched me play these 3 games know, so far, overall, Deadly Shadows is still my favourite of the lot. For many, many reasons, but I like different aspects of the different games. So I think overall, so far at least, number 2 has been by far the most challenging to complete. It's been a lot stricter in terms of, you must stay hidden. And it's been harder to do so, overall. Number 1 has probably had the most, I'm just going to say, ridiculous tonal shifts. It's very much a game that's... it is kind of less serious than the others so far. In both tone and execution. But that's not to its detriment. I'm quite enjoying this sort of change of pace within the same universe. And just for gameplay mechanics and cohesive world building, number 3 is still my favourite overall. As I mentioned at the end of that LP, I like hub worlds, I really do. I know apparently a lot of people didn't like that particular mechanical change, but it's something that I quite like the idea of just everything occurring within a world the player can see is one complete whole. Whereas the mission system is very much these are snapshots from within Garrett's life and career. One of my favourite missions from the Metal Age was where you were on the rooftops. You went through, after a fashion anyway, part of the city in order to get to what your main objective was, which was the Hammer Cathedral, or the Mechanist Cathedral anyhow, the Soul Forge. Actually, no, it wasn't the Soul Forge, was it? It was the Archangel? No, Archangel's Doctor Who, isn't it? The big tower thing, anyway. The fact you didn't just start off at the tower, you actually went through the city and got to, get a bit of a sense of the world you were in. I quite liked that. I would have quite liked it if that sort of rooftops idea had been expanded and you'd access different missions by going via the rooftops. You could have seen the Mechanist presence grow and build with more patrols and more machines and so on and so forth, and as you got towards the end of the game they could have begun actively looking for you specifically rather than just keeping a general eye out. I would like that idea, but again, I don't know if it would have been viable during the period in which the game actually came out. Oh, god damn it. Door. There you go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. The one thing I will say, just to, in the interests of balance, that was loud. No giant turtles down here, are they? No? Good. I swear the first time I hear Cowabunga screamed at me, I'm legging it. But where was I? That was one of the things I must say, sort of imbalance in criticism of Deadly Shadows, is I think, out of all the games I've played so far, in this series that is, it probably had the floatiest, for want of a better word, stealth system. It has really interesting ideas, like I say, like the ideas of backlighting and whatnot actually playing in. Like you could put a room in perfect darkness, but if there was a strong light source in the room behind you when you stood up, you would be silhouetted and thus still counted as perfectly visible. I say, all the stuff it did with dynamic lighting was great. But there were plenty of instances where I would literally walk around guards, like right in front of them. And the game would take too long to register I was within like a light section, so the guards wouldn't react. Whereas these two games seem to be a lot more on point in that regard of determining whether you're in shadow or not. Though I will say they're a bit too strict in times, like I've had circumstances in this and Metal Age where I've been technically in shadow because guards were already in alert mode, they've seen me anyway. Which I don't agree with. I think if you're in a state where your character's supposed to be invisible, that should be it, you know? Right, can I cost you in time?
I got you now.
Nope. That's kind of what I'm talking about. In Deadly Shadows, I probably still would have been able to knock him out. The game wouldn't have registered I was actually there quickly enough to put him into alert mode and thus make him, knock out invulnerable. Yes, I can. You've clearly not met me. Let's hide behind this guy. I'm sure you will. If you can actually catch me, which, let's face it, it's not looking like it's going to be your day, son. No, it's not. I don't know why I've just spent like the past 10 minutes rambling about game mechanics across the series. I'm in a very weird mood right now. Well, perhaps not weird is the right word, just a retrospective one. I suppose should be a more accurate term for it. I have noticed that the music for this level has so far been quite on point. There's been no sudden weird raves started in the middle of the level. Nobody's suddenly gone, yes, it's a sneaky stealth mission into the heart of danger. Enemies lurk round every corner. The shadows are your only ally. And that just makes me want to party. No, that's not happened yet. I can't discount it because I haven't played the whole mission yet, but so far it's been alright. Though as I understand it, this isn't one of the original missions. This is a mission that was added to the game when it was remastered for the Thief Gold edition. Which is a very interesting concept, which I don't think enough games actually do these days when they put out their remasters and all they generally tend to do is shift a few enemies around, upscale the textures, and then go, yep, job done. The idea of adding like whole new levels, voiced content and everything, which I suppose perhaps I shouldn't be that impressed by nowadays. It's like I've met plenty of people who are so new, relatively speaking, to gaming. They don't even remember back when having actual voiced content in your video game was a big deal. It's like, to get voiced content, you had to sacrifice, valuable disk space, or cartridge space even. So someone's willing to put that commitment in there and actually, hire voice actors, have spoken content. They had to make sure, what stuff they had left, like physical gameplay, that had to be, on point, to make up for the fact it was going to be a shorter experience. Unless you were willing to go like Final Fantasy route and do multiple discs, but they weren't even spoken. We choose our profession in defiance of the greed of monarchy. We will not live for the sake of taxes to fatten the noble pockets. We choose to live the only life available to those who are truly free. We are thieves. That's a marvellous excuse. Good job. I know. I can't help but be cynical somehow. I can't think there's something about the idea of thieving in opposition to greed that is, it's very Robin Hood, isn't it? It's very romanticised and idealistic. I have a strong suspicion that the vast majority of the people working for you are not thieving for noble ideology. I have a feeling they're doing it for greed, maximum profit, for minimum effort, essentially. which is a basic human drive, you know, get the most you can for as little expenditure as possible. But, generally, most of the species has an aversion of doing that at the direct expense of others. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I just opened a door into my own face again. I really need to learn to figure out which way the doors are going to open before I start messing with them. There probably is like a really obvious tell that I've just not noticed. Bugger me if I can figure it out.
What did I hear?
Absolutely nothing, son. No need to come investigate, just stay where you are. It's fine, I promise. Massive indigestion attack, not fun. Now, is it worth trying to bum rush you, or should I put the other torch out as well? Probably should put this out as well, shouldn't I? There we go. Actually, I could probably just sneak past you in this state, but where's the fun in that? Well, there's plenty of fun, of course. Ghosting is always fun in stealth games, but I'm a practical man. Well, practical to a point, anyway. If I was purely practical, I would have put an arrow in the back of your head, but make sure you weren't ever going to get to bother me or anyone else ever again. I know. Practical man who spends the next 5 minutes trying to arrange this guy perfectly on the bed. His point is, of course, because anyone who comes in is going to instantly know they've been knocked out. They're not going to think they're asleep, even if they're in the perfect place. Which I think would be the next stage for stealth games, actually, if they haven't already done it. Contextual knockout positions. So it's like if I take someone I've knocked out and then put them in a bed. Anyone who walks past is not going to instantly go, oh my god, he's been coshed. And freak out, you know. I'd like to see that in a stealth game. Hi. Bye. Probably didn't need to knock you out, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because I don't see any way I could have gotten around you ghosting, actually. I genuinely don't. How would I have got past you if I couldn't have if I was trying to ghost? Because this room is electrically lit, and you were just standing staring directly into the middle of it. I don't think there's any way I could have gotten around that, lass. Unless I could have... No, I can't see it. The moment I stepped into the room, she saw me, so... Unless she wasn't supposed to be looking... perhaps she was supposed to be moving around the area, and just she wasn't for some reason. Which wouldn't be the first time that's happened, and, well, not even just in this game, in the others as well. Where the AI is just not triggered, and they've just sort of stood there for no particular reason. It just occurred to me that this could be solved by just putting some actual light switches for the electric lights into the game. Like, if I could flick off the lights, I could just walk straight in there. Oh, you could make it a thing, like I say, she could walk over and turn them back on again. Which would still give me time to get past her. Ah, how novel. Don't see a point to it, but yeah, that's cool, I guess. Anyhow. The car making her way deeper and deeper into their lair, I suppose. I mean, if in doubt... Whip it out? No, just, sneak away. Oh, back into the sewers, excellent. Okay, so... Do these both go to the same place? I mean, the map sort of implies they do, if I'm reading this right. But I prefer to check, really. That should be relatively quick to do. Just backtrack for half a second and see if the other entrance goes to the exact same place. If it does, I'm going to feel kind of silly of having even gone this way, although by going this way I did find additional treasure, and treasure is always good. It's not the fastest way through this level, but then again, that's not the point of this playthrough. The point of this is to experience the game as much as I can, and as blindly as I can. I am kind of tempted to go back to Deadly Shadows and learn to speedrun it, because I watched a few videos of that months ago now, and it's insane how easily you can get away with it, even doing like hard mode challenges, where you've got to get like all the loot.
Lord Randall's would have smelled better.
Oh, it does link together, okay, it's fine. Didn't he already give that line about Lord Randall smelling better? Or am I imagining that? I'm sure he already said that. Yeah. Never mind, never mind. We got sneakiness to be doing. Thank you, Gareth. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. I'm gonna have to run away from the area now in case anyone heard me drop. And be much quieter by opening a giant creaky door. Good work. Right, I'm in the lower sewers. Still no idea where this Magdalene guys is. I'm heading to, like, towards Rubens at this point and away from Donald's. So I don't know. I'll figure it out, it's fine.